you doing?
Yo.
Welcome back to Leather Helmet Phantom Sports Podcast. As usual, you're with me, my brother Josh. We're bringing off week 4 of the NFL. We're already a quarter way through after this week.
Oh, yeah.
And
that is right.
Yep.
Just
and
under.
we have had a horrible week 3, so we're ready to bounce back, just like all the other players that had a horrible week 2 bounce back in week 3. Ready to see it again. Josh, you want to touch base on our weekly or last week?
Our last week. So yeah, like you said, awful week. I mean, I was injury hit left and
Awful.
right. I had Adam Thielen go out with a hamstring. It looked like he was about to pop off for a 100-yard game. Didn't happen. I had Saints center go down, and one snap after. Oh, Derek Carr gets sacked for the only sack the Eagles had the whole game.
You're under
0 sacks for Eagles,
sack,
plus 600. They get 1 sack on the snap after they lose their center.
Is that the only sack, too, for the rest of the game?
Whole only sack.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Anyways, yeah, bad week. Didn't hit a single bet out of my 5 bets. Negative 10 units. I think you hit 1 Monday night, and that was it.
Yeah,
that's all we got.
All my Sundays, and I missed one Monday as well for Brian Robinson. My lock would have hit if I didn't get
Trusting
if I didn't try to get
not backups, but secondary guys.
Yeah, with Warren got hurt, and they gave the work to Patterson. If I just took Steelers money line, probably would have done me justice because I saw it coming. Herbert actually left halfway through the game. So
I'm not gonna lie, my one part of my bet, I was not expecting the Panthers to do that well. Like I knew they would throw more and put up points.
I don't think anyone was.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, now they're like, "Oh, Red Rocket's great. He's back."
No, he's not that good. He's just cool guy.
All right, let's get right into the picks. Like last week and continuing.
We can't do that yet.
Oh, we got to do the wheel.
We got to spin the wheel.
Josh, you got to spin the wheel.
I got 2 L's, week 2 and week 3 I lost. So I'm going to spin twice the, whatever you want to call it, the unfortunate wheel.
The I suck wheel.
Yeah, sorry. Let's see what we got the first one.
This one looks a lot better than last year's.
Does it?
Sure. Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Nah, I don't think it was the color scheme.
Oh, rep it hard.
Rep it hard.
So I feel like I can just switch it right back to last year and Giants it up.
Yeah.
So I got the Giants tights. I got to put the tights on to Eagles, preferably Eagles or Giants game just because of the Giants tights.
Or you can wear it versus the Browns game.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could. It's a little awkward, though, but like, why would a Giants fan be there?
I don't know.
Whatever. I'll put it on. I don't really give a crap, but I'm not wearing them the whole tailgate.
Oh, yeah, no. Same thing with me. I'm wearing the Browns
I'll do
jersey.
like one lap.
One lap. Now you got to get like 6
I'm going to get hit with, I'm going to get hit with a beer.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right.
Or that or some weird dude's going to jump on me or I don't know. I don't want to know.
Spin it again. Obviously, we didn't do week 1, so Josh is just going over week 2 and week 3.
Pass. Oh, we got to respin it.
Respin.
Because I didn't take it out yet. Let's get a quick respin. I don't feel like taking it out. If it lands again, I'll probably take it out. But
Stranger danger.
Not yet.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
I would back up if I were you. I'm about to splash the shit out of this dude. All right?
Why?
Because he's a fucking Jets fan.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. All right.
Disgracing the Birds to going Birds.
This is so I have to yell Go Birds in a public venue.
Perfect. With Giants.
No.
Giants.
No.
Yeah, you got your Giants leggings.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but no. The whole point of it, the whole point is to be obnoxious.
Okay.
So like whether I'm at a restaurant or a library or something.
Okay. So like a place you wouldn't scream it, you scream it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
And it's random.
I mess with it.
All right. Back to our week 4, like you were saying.
All right. So like I said, we're gonna be going over 3 favorite picks. None of them have to be a lock. But we will let you know if it is a lock. Most likely it'll be around 5 units. That just means we're more confident in the bet hitting. And if you're going to ride with us at all, it would be with one of those. But Josh, you can get started on your first one, and then I'll bounce back to my first one.
All right. So I'll start off with a not big guy, but he is getting a lot of talk in the fantasy world, getting hyped up probably more than he should be. We got Rashid Shaheed. He is a receiver on the Saints. I'm taking his under 3.5 receptions. Not the best odds, a little juice, but negative 132 odds I got it at. I'm putting 2 units on this. He is a big time play guy. He likes to streak down the field. Carr actually loves him. Unfortunately, he's not that great of a receiver outside of the deep ball. Yeah. He's hit this under in 14 of his last 20 games with Carr. Well, only his 20 games with Carr. So over almost 75% hit rate. That's amazing. Twice this year he's gone under with Carr. He averages just about 4.5 targets. So it's like he almost has to catch every target. He's never hit this once against the Falcons, who he gets a matchup against this week.
And it's divisional. It's not like it's a matchup that doesn't happen a lot.
Yep.
So.
I want to say it's an away game. Can you double check that?
It is away.
It's away game, so even more against him. Falcons safeties and Bates is pretty elite, so I just see them not letting the deep ball up. And even if they do let the deep ball up, he can still get the yardage, which is why I took his under receptions. I think he could catch one 40-yard, 50-yard catch, but I don't see him catching 4 receptions when he's not the lead wide receiver. He's in an offense that I don't think is going to get really going against a mediocre Falcons defense. So I like that line a lot. Hopefully it's not going down too much.
2 things to note and to watch out for if you're going to ride with Josh for this bet is Chris Olave is questionable and Kamara is questionable as well. So he might get more targets.
Yeah, maybe.
But if they play, then definitely he's not going to be the number 1 target whatsoever. Even Cedric Wilson's questionable. That's crazy. Everyone's questionable besides him. Yeah. But I see most of them playing, I would guess. So especially a divisional game. So I'm going to stick to the same
Did I
game.
say units? I said 2 units, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. But
I think I did.
That's a good part to put in. Minus 132. Shaheed under 3.5 receptions for 2 units. I'm going to stick into the same game, and I am going to go with Darnell Mooney on the other side for Falcons over 40.5 receiving yards, minus 114 for 1 unit. He has became Kirk's, I wouldn't say number 1 weapon, but his favorite weapon, I would say, right outside of London. I feel like he's still even his Kirk's favorite weapon other than outside the red zone, because London is obviously the bigger name. He was drafted higher, all of that. But Mooney's targets have gone from 3 the first week, 7 the second week, and 8 the third week. And he also completed all 8 targets last week. So that gives Kirk some confidence that, hey, if I throw this dude, he's going to get the job done for me. And we're going to be able to actually win games. Like you said, and like I said, it's a divisional game. Falcons are also home. It's a dome game, so you don't have to worry about any of the weather. And the last time he went 66 yards, even though he completed all 8 targets. So obviously you're going to take that down a little bit. I doubt he's going to catch all passes again. And the week before that, he only had 3 receptions for 88 receiving yards. So the way I look at this and when I watched last week is he can go over the top and he can also just work the slot. Most of, honestly, Falcons receivers don't go deep. They don't really have much deep plays, probably because Kirk had his injuries last year, so he probably can't plan on his back leg as much and get it deep down the field. So that's probably why majority of the time they're not going deep. But if there is going to be someone that can do that, it's Mooney. Also on the other side of Saints defense, one of their best defenders in the secondary, Demario Davis, is out. He's a great pass rusher and run defender, I guess you would call it. And he's out. Obviously, they still have Cam and Jordan. They have their big guys, Tyrann Matthews, Lattimore, all that. So that's still in play. But I see Lattimore being more suited to London. So then they have the number 2, which their number 2 is, I don't even know who it is, Paulson Adebo, whoever that is. Either way, they have Tyson Matthew. If they're going to do a cover 1, cover 2, that will either hover over London or hover over Mooney. But I could see him definitely getting enough targets and enough share to go over this 40.5 receiving yards. I see this being also a close game as well. Not really anyone blowing it out. And if anyone's going to blow it out, I see it more being the Saints, even though they got exposed by Eagles. Horrible defense. Don't know how they got held that much. And Falcons defense is pretty decent as well. So we'll see how the game goes. But I'm going to take Darnell Mooney's over receiving yards of 40.5 and just leave it for 1 unit. Move on to your second one.
Sure. So I got going back to my hate, but this time instead of picking on the best receiver in the league, I'm going to pick on the guy that I actually do hate, which is Sam Darnold. I'm taking his under 228.5 passing yards for negative 114 odds, putting 1 unit on this. Honestly, the biggest thing is I just don't think Darnold is an NFL level starter QB.
I agree.
He has a really good year this year. I mean, the Vikings look great, but that's more so because their team in general looks great. The defense looks amazing. Their offense is clicking. Just good overall coaching is going on. So, yes, he's a good product of that, but he's not a good product of just talent and able to extend plays, look downfield, make good reads. He's not really any of that. So, even if you give him a lot of time, I don't see him putting up yards. His last 3 games, his 3 games this year, the only 3 games, if you take away his 1 bomb touchdown, so in week 2, he had a 97-yard touchdown to Jefferson. So let's just act like that never happened. Maybe give him like 20 yards if you wanted to. But either way, 208, 171, and 181. So those are the passing yards for his last 3 games without the 100-yard touchdown. So I'm just going to bet against him almost every week. And if he keeps proving me wrong, maybe I'll just stay away from the Vikings in general because they are a really solid team. And it's hard to bet against a really well-coached team. But the plus side is if the Vikings defense, who do they play this week?
They play Green Bay, which is a pretty decent defense.
Yeah, so if they're both good
secondary
defenses, yeah. But if let's say Jordan Love doesn't play, Darnold might not even have to throw. The Vikings might take a good lead. So we'll see how it goes game script wise. Either way, I'd still like it, regardless what happens in the game, to go just under. I see him getting like that 210 area, the highest he's really gone this year. So 1 unit on that.
All right. Sounds good.
Excuse me.
The toughest part is honestly going to be if it's a divisional game that there can be, right? It's a division.
Green Bay and it's
Vikings.
Aaron Jones. Jones.
Yeah,
revenge game.
Packers.
I
I was
think
looking
he's
at
kinda
his
hurt,
numbers. No, he's not hurt. I was looking at his numbers. He's at like 56 rushing yards or something like that. And his receiving is only at like 20 something. I thought about one of the two, but I was like, I'll just leave it alone. But he's on actually my long shot, which we'll talk about later.
Gotcha.
I'm moving my second pick. I got Travis Kelce, the one everyone's talking about. Is he getting too fat? Is he caring about the commercials too much? Does he not care about it because he's got, 3 Super Bowl rings now or something like that? Either way, we can see the weight gain coming in. Everyone can see it, but it's still Travis Kelce. No one knows what to do with him in fantasy. I'm going to take his over 46.5 receiving yards at minus 113 for 1 unit only, though. I think it's crazy if you think about this, that Travis Kelce is getting 46.5. This dude was at like high 60s, low 70s every single game last year, which it makes sense, especially with how much he's fallen off these past 3 weeks. But they still target him, and they still try to get him into the game, especially the past 2 weeks more than anything. Their coach has talked about it. Mahomes has talked about it. There's interviews left and right, nonstop, talking about how low he is. And this is where I'm going mainly with the bet. Monday, if you watched our reels or if you watched my reel, I took Chase's over receiving yards. That hit. He was pissed off. He wasn't getting the work that he normally does. Had a huge game. Again, Thursday, I took Lamb to go over only 50, but I knew 50 was a sure bet. He was pissed. He wasn't getting the normal work. Again, he has like 100 receiving yard game. So I'm going to go back to this wheel well that I've been doing where Travis Kelce, I wouldn't say he's pissed. Maybe he's pissed a little bit, but it's the fact that he's just not. He hasn't been getting the work. All the media has been focused around how he isn't getting targeted as much. He's just not getting the receiving yards. No one knows what to do with his fantasy. So at this low of a line of 46.5, with them playing the hurt Chargers and his, I wouldn't say dark horse, his, what is it? What would Derwin James be to Kelsey?
I know you're trying to say his not enemy, but whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, basically the person that he goes up against all the time, and if you ever see that matchup, Derwin James usually gets the best of it. Derwin James is out now. Chargers offensive line is hurt like crazy, so they're not going to be able to run the ball, which means that Casey's going to have the ball majority of the time because they're not going to be running out the clock. They're going to be throwing. They also have a backup quarterback. I doubt Herbert's going to play. If he does, I think it's a poor move. There's just a lot of signs that are pointing towards Kelsey getting more of the work. If you don't like it, though, also look for Kelsey's anytime touchdown because he hasn't had a touchdown once this year, and they've targeted him twice last week in the red zone. So
I like that a lot.
Either way, I see Kelsey getting more work, and if you give Kelsey the work, he's going to catch the balls. It's that simple. And with Derwin James, and I hate that I can't think of this word, being out, I see it happening. So I'm going to stick with that for one unit. I want to move to your
last bet.
Third and last bet.
Sure. So I got a little parlay. Not that we've had the best luck with them, or at least myself. Well, I say that, but we just went on a streak. I just double parlayed Thursday night.
You did?
We hit that +6 plus
juice the hell
sweep
out of it, though.
Yeah. So it's nothing wrong with a little bit of juice.
Oh, I know. I just
that was first half
anything
hits.
with 3 legs in it. I hate. So
there's 2 legs.
I know. I like that you split it up 2 and 2.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little worried about one missing by a little bit, but
I'm just saying,
feel like the lines were so low for those
the last
type of
juice
players.
you did was 3, and there's too much.
I don't know. I feel like all my bets look good. So without injury, take it. Anyways, back to my parlay. So this is not in the same game. It is going to be Brock Bowers and Dalton Kincaid, both tight ends, for going 25 plus receiving yards. You get -126 odds.
I feel like that's gonna be better than that. That's horrible.
For guys that realistically are almost their number one target in their offense, they haven't been as much this year. I mean, you could argue Bowers has, but Kincaid hasn't been used as much as people expected. But anyways, let's just get into some stats. We got Bowers averaging 65 receiving yards a game and 7 targets a game. Adams is currently out for this next week, so there's not a chance he doesn't get under his 7 target average. Yes, he doesn't have a great matchup against the Browns, but the Browns did seem susceptible last week against Daniel Jones. He went for like 240 yards. So I just see Bowers as almost not generational, but just up there as a top tier pass catching tight end. I mean,
he's the best tight end this year.
Yeah. And people knew that coming in. They just weren't sure if he was going to get the work. He's proven he's gotten the work, over 7 targets a game as a rookie. He's going to get the work. If he gets under 25 receiving yards, it's got to be to injury. I don't know what else happens.
You better rewatch that game because I imagine some BS probably happened. Because I've been seeing a lot of BS. As far as if he doesn't get 25 receiving yards, some.
I mean, his happened. Lowest was last week, so he had 4 targets and 3 receptions for 41 yards.
That's what I'm saying. 3 receptions, 41 yards.
Yeah, I feel like they benched him. Honestly, I mean his snap percentage isn't really high, which doesn't worry me because it just means more of a case he gets the ball when he's on the field.
Yeah.
But with Adams out, what are they going to rely on to get their ball moving? Zamir White to run? No,
White is
it's got to go to him.
I'm taking White's under to be honest.
It doesn't matter how much coverage you put on him. He's a beast. Just give him a couple catches and I'll get that 20 plus. Anyways, moving on to Kincaid. His numbers aren't as good this year. So he's only averaging 26 yards. But if you look at any of the Bills games or have been watching the Bills at all, they've been blowing teams out, outright 30-point differentials, insane. So a lot of their starters really aren't seeing the field or seeing as much work as they need to just because it's not necessary. Why would they risk losing their starters and losing their best players when all they got to do is run the ball out? That's why James Cook is a good product of why he's really good in fantasy so far. All that to say, his usage last year with Joe Brady, I think his name is, the offensive coordinator. So week 9 on, He was averaging over 6 targets and 60 yards himself. So a lot of people that play fantasy know Kincaid was hyped up getting in, and that's why. Like in the same offense, the same personnel, minus like one rookie wide receiver, he's averaged pretty much the same thing as Bowers. So I see him in a game that should be a lot closer. It's the Bills and Ravens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ravens.
So should be a lot closer of a game. Might even lose the game. Who knows? But regardless, they're going to need Kincaid because it's not going to be a blowout. So I see him getting at least 5 targets. He should be able to get that 25 plus pretty easily. I like it at -126 odds. Throwing 2 units on this one.
All right, I like it. I think you could even move that up to 3 depending on how the game goes. But I'm there for it.
Playing safe. We got to keep the sweep going, bro.
Yeah, definitely. So my last and final bet is a lock. It is with a team that I bet on last week, and I lost my lock with it. But it's all right because this is going to hit for sure. And there's only one reason it's going to be is because Najee Harris is going to go over 65.5 rushing yards for -114 for 5 units. He plays the Indiana Colts, the worst rush defense in the league. Statistically, it's the Cowboys. I actually don't know about after this Thursday game, but statistically going into week 3, it was the Cowboys. But anyone that knows ball and looks at stats and actually looks into it knows that week 1, Cowboys actually held the Browns to a decent rushing number under. And then week 2 and week 3, they just got blown out so fast to the point where obviously teams are going to run the ball nonstop. I then went and took stupid Singletary's under 60.5 rushing yards. People were telling me left and right, oh, he's definitely going over 60. People were betting on his over. And it went under strictly because the Cowboys aren't the worst, but the Colts are the worst. I was trying to tell Josh that. I think you said, what was the team you said was horrible? Panthers. Panthers probably let up a shit ton of rushing yards too.
Yeah, that was Panthers under Bryce Young.
Yeah, that's true. All I'm saying is the Colts rush defense or run defense is complete ass. I don't see them ever getting better this year, to be honest. And they still have injuries too in their defensive ends. And the main one is Kenny Moore. Their nickel is out as well. So they have injuries out the wazoo. And I believe they're Buckner and who's their main guy that used to be on the team that came back. I forget who it is. Idea. But either way, they can't stop the run for Jack. And Najee Harris has been over this in all 3 weeks. So this is 65.5 rushing yards. He versed Atlanta, which is a way better defense at 70. He's versed Denver at 69 and Chargers at 70 again. So he's right around that. But the good part is Warren is out. Obviously, Patterson took some of the role, some of the attempts towards the end of the last game. But this is Najee's contract year. He wants the bread. He wants to stay on the team. He wants to stay in Pittsburgh. He's been
not
showing
his rookie
up.
Contract, right? It's got to be a second
Rookie contract.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's old for being a rookie.
Came in 2020, 2024.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can just see him easily hitting this strictly just because they play the Colts. Colts have let up tremendous amounts of yards week after week, and there was never a thing about, oh, well, there's one week that they actually held them, and then the other weeks it was just blowouts. Every single week, someone goes off on them. Every single week, someone goes over this 65.5 for the past 3 weeks. So it's going to happen again. This lock is going to hit, and the Steelers are going to be up. They're going to be in positive game script. They're even going to take the W and probably roll on to the third or the second last remaining undefeated team when they beat the Colts. Obviously, this is not at Pittsburgh Stadium, so obviously that takes a little bit back. But regardless, I see them being the favored coming into the game, winning the game. So if you're going to give me the winning team, I'm always going to take the running back going against a crappy run defense. So lock in for 5 units at -114. Najee Harris over 65.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like it. My only concern is definitely just that I've heard quite a few people on it.
For real? I haven't heard anyone on it, but I also haven't dug into it.
I will also say if you're worried about like, oh, the Colts weren't that bad last week, I'm like, just go watch like Swift's like running, and I'm like, oh, my man's like open field, there's a hole, and then he's like, let me just run a defender.
Dude, I was literally gonna try to take Swift's under because that dude is
he's
just
so bad
falling off.
But he's gonna get benched
so hard.
He's gonna get benched for Herbert.
Oh yeah,
bad.
no doubt. But the crazy part is
he looks like CTE.
Yeah. So
bad.
Swift got 13 carries for 20 rushing yards, but then they decided to finally stick Johnson in, and he did 8 for 30 yards. So he literally got 10 more yards off of like a quarter less attempts. So it was really just Swift completely not.
It was bad.
Doing anything. It was horrible. Plus, I mean, on top of that,
he made like
Chicago's offensive line is literally like one of the worst offensive lines.
I'm just saying
right now.
Like honestly, if you just go watch highlights of Swift, like between him and Will Levis, they're comical, and how bad they can be.
It's just it's more or less that game script last week was strictly about Bears offensive line being trashed, and like you just said, Swift's run game is insanely bad. So
yeah,
but when you got
think
Taylor,
Fields is going to run a lot in this game?
But I don't like his he's at like 30, 32 rushing yards, and he might not need to do that because
I feel like he's definitely holding back.
Yeah.
A little bit.
He's definitely holding back as far as the running goes, but I think he doesn't need to, and he doesn't want to ruin the game as far as fumbling goes or throwing a pick. He'd rather just play it safe. He does like what Mahomes does. Like, I'm going to run out to the sideline, get closer to the first yard, or get first down. So I think that's how he's going to continue to do it. Bear style, where he literally run through the middle like Lamar Jackson. But all right, let's move on to our long shot parlay.
Here comes one. We're gonna hit one.
I got 2 this week. If one of them hits, you're getting $50.
All right,
if you're a subscriber. If 2 of them,
since you got 2, hits, I'm gonna give 2.
Okay, perfect. I mean,
quad.
If
shot.
One of them hits, you're getting $50. If one of the other one hits that I put more money on, you're gonna get $100. So look forward to those giveaways we'll be doing, and We're ready to give away the money as long as these long shots hit. You want to hit one of your big ones off?
I'm just gonna throw them both out because they're almost identical. So I'm gonna go with the sweep. Since we're sweeping, I'm 2-0. You're 1-0. So I'm just gonna assume I'm gonna sweep the whole week.
Oh my gosh!
So I'm gonna take Shaheed under 3.5 receptions, Darnold under 228.5 passing yards. So both of them hit, right? That should be not a full sweep, but really close. And then I'm going to take Brock Bowers. He has 18 receptions so far this year, not a single touchdown. So I'm going to take his anytime touchdown, parlay them 3 together.
Touchdown?
Doesn't have a single touchdown.
Wow.
So I'm going to say this is the week. First week he gets a touchdown. He becomes the number 1 tight end in fantasy. He's number 2 right now. So I'm going to say touchdown, big game for him. That will put you to a plus 1,024 odds I got. And then we're going to do a separate long shot. We're going to jump all over Brock Bowers this week. This man better stay healthy. 100-plus yard game. You get over 1,000, plus 1,000 odds. I think it's 1,060.
Off for just 100 yards.
Yep, just 100 yards for Brock Bowers.
What the fuck?
It's all because even his line.
He got like 90 the first.
If you don't like anything I'm giving you, take Brock Bowers just straight line. Because it's only low because he's playing the Browns. But I don't think the Browns are anything insanely good. I mean, yes, they have a good pass rush, and they could scare the Raiders if they play as bad as they did last week. But what else are they going to go to? Like, they could still get destroyed.
630. What else are you adding to it? You gotta add something else to that.
Bro, it wasn't that. I'll show you right now.
I'm showing you right now in your face.
All right. Well,
you're plus 100 yards, and what else?
Well, I guess I was just so early to the line,
and you gotta get a touchdown.
We're not taking that then. But I'll show you. I mean, I'm just gonna show you. But yeah, I'm not taking that one then. That's not worth it.
Unless you want to bet on his 110.
No, it's probably, honestly, you know what probably happened? I probably got the odds before Adams was rolled out. Because I took this
that would make
a day
sense
and a half ago. So, yeah, sorry, your loss. Be like me. Get early. I'll put it on social media next time.
That
just
would make
so
sense
you get
with
a jump
Adams
start.
being in. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I'll show you right now.
Make this real quick. Moving on to my first one. I'm going with Travis Kelce, like one of my bets. I'm only going to take him at 60.
Can you read that right there? What's that say?
Wow, 1020 on plus 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got to grab it early, dude. I don't know what to tell you. With that being said, though, hit us up if you ever want some picks. We'll give it to you. Josh is way more busy than I am. as far as early picks, we're looking forward to them way before the week starts, especially me. Travis Kelce, I'm getting at 60 plus receiving yards right now. Like I said, I took him at 46 receiving yards. So I'm taking him a little bit more juice, 15 extra yards.
I like it.
I'm doing Carson Steele anytime touchdown. He got like 3 or 4 rushing attempts inside the 10 last week. He is the dude. He looked phenomenal last week. So he will be getting the ground game when it comes to the Chiefs. So as long as Chiefs just seal this up, I see it happening. And then I got Travis Kelce, his first touchdown of the year, to get him over that 60 yards. I'm going to take that at plus 1,003 odds.
Not crazy.
And like I said, if that hits, we'll be giving it away. And then the other one is 3 anytime touchdowns. I got Najee Harris, anytime touchdown. Again, like I just spoke about, playing the Colts, complete trash, dude.
That last leg is going to hit you.
Najee Harris has not gotten a touchdown, I believe, once this season. Let me confirm real fast for you.
That's crazy.
He hasn't got one touchdown, got so much work, been phenomenal, like 70 yards a game. He's going to get the touchdown. For fantasy, definitely. Not in reality, though. Aaron Jones, like we just talked about, anytime touchdown, he's coming to Green Bay. He's going to show up. He's going to get that touchdown. Everyone's going to be like, oh, we want Aaron Jones back. Josh Jacobs sucks. So he's going to come in there. He's going to get a touchdown. And then my good old James Cook.
Yours.
Yeah, I would say both of ours, but
mine.
Bro, you reached on it, but taking James Cook anytime touchdown. He has been getting a lot of touchdowns. I believe he got 3 the second week. He got none the first week. Then we took his anytime touchdown on the second week. He got 3, and then he just got 1 rushing one last week. Yeah, I mean, anyone that took the future of his rushing touchdowns already has gone over it.
Got a bad matchup though.
He does have Ravens. He does have a pretty decent run defense going against him. So that is a thing to take note. But like you said earlier, it should be a game that the Bills are actually going to need to not just blow out teams, meaning he's going to be playing the entire game. They're going to need to use him. They can't just rely on Josh Allen. This could be a game, honestly, that Josh Allen just runs it in, takes away from Cook because they need Josh Allen, and Josh Allen needs to be Superman. So that could happen, but this is why it's a long shot parlay. You add all 3 of them together, you get 1,059. Like I said, that hits. We'll be giving away the money.
I'm just surprised how close they are in odds. Like I feel like the other one sounded a lot more doable.
Yeah, I think it's just because Carson Steele with Travis Kelce both getting the touchdowns on the same team makes it tough. And then you take Kelsey's at 60 receiving yards.
But it seems like
last time
them to get it, like if this was last year, people would be like, "Oh, the starting running back for KC and Kelsey getting a touchdown." Whoa,
with 60 receiving
happens every other game,
exactly.
probably.
It's just the way it's moving this year. But I honestly love these running backs to get a touchdown. Like you said, the only tough one will be James Cook because Josh Allen can take it away. But if you take Josh Allen out of that situation, he doesn't attempt once in the red zone to do it. I think James Cook is getting in it because he can literally do it through the air. He can do it through the ground. Again, Aaron Jones can do it through the air or he can do it through the ground. And Najee Harris hasn't got a damn touchdown once, plays the Colts. Like, come on now. So just a lot of opportunities for them to get a touchdown. Yeah. So I see it happening, to be honest.
All right, let's sweep it out.
Let's sweep it. Let's do the giveaways. Like always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have been phenomenal with all the support. We're moving on to the second quarter of the NFL. Moving on to next week. Always go ahead over to social medias again if you want to contact us early for any bets, or if you want to just let us know your bet, how we feel about it. We may even ride with you. But that's it. You got anything else, Josh?
That's it for me.
All right. Have a great week. See you guys
Go Birds.
next week.